So one of the biggest stories, that hasn't really been a story, but one of the biggest talking points in the last few weeks is should the Washington trade Bradley Beal? Bradley Beal has been incredible. Like Bradley Beal is arguably, like I said, he's arguably one of the best players in the league. Yet and still, the team, which is Washington, sits at 4 and whatever. Like they're not good, and you know you have teams like the Clippers or like the Lakers or the Heat that have packages ready pretty much for when Washington says, you know what, we're gonna cut bait. We're gonna get not cut bait. We're gonna trade him. Here's a couple things that we have to keep in mind. Washington got pummeled by COVID. I think 9 straight games got postponed or something like that. I know, Russell Westbrook was out with injury and COVID. Multiple players, hell, Bradley Beal was out a game or two because of COVID or contact tracing or whatever like that. This team got destroyed with COVID. One. And again, I also understand, I think they would have a better record than they have now. I don't think they'd be like top of the East, but I think they have a better record if COVID didn't just pimp slap the whole team. Another thing you have to realize is this is a newer team. Like, you have some new players, and of course you have Russell Westbrook. Wow, that's only one player. That is a system in and of itself. Now, I understand Russell Westbrook has to, kind of go along with the Bradley Beal since it's Bradley Beal's team. But, integrating Westbrook, especially seeing as though he's missed multiple games, that kind of is tough as well. And of course, and the biggest reason why biggest thing we have to realize is Bradley Beal one signed an extension. And he knew that it was going to take a while. He knew that this season wasn't going to be the season of redemption for Washington. He knew that. And he knew, I think, and he even said he wants to know how the team is going to rebuild. He wants to know how the team is going to fare. He wants to know the change that the team is going to make for the better. Now, I think, and I'll say it. I think one of the biggest hindrances that Washington has is Scott Brooks. I think he's a good coach, but I think that he is not the best coach for this team. I know that they're going to look at the success that he had with OKC, even though if you really look at it, they went to one championship, and that's with James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook. But I don't think Scott Brooks is a good coach for this unit, and I think that is one of the biggest detriments of this team. I think Scott Brooks, his schemes are kind of easy to figure out, and he's never been on a team that preaches defense. Hell, even if you look back at the champion or the team in OKC that went to the championship, while they were young, they still didn't play really any defense at all. So I just think Scott Brooks is not the coach for this team. Now, the question was, should Washington trade Bradley Beal? This depends. It depends if that is your goal. If your goal is to trade Bradley Beal, this is the best time to trade him. You have teams that want him. His value is at an all-time high, seeing as though he's one of the best shooting guards in the league, and he's playing like one of the best players in general in the league. This is the highest point he's going to get. If you continue to keep him, his value is just going to go down. He's going to get older, and the team's going to lose more, so the losing is going to kind of be draped on him, and the teams are going to start looking at the losing instead of the incredible scoring outputs he's putting out. If you're going to trade him, and if that is your goal, trade him. Trade him now, because this is the highest his value is going to be. However, if you don't want to trade him, or if your goal is not to trade him, don't trade him. See how he works with Russell Westbrook, a whole season, maybe 2 seasons, seeing as though you pretty much have him on contract for the next 2.5 years. See how it works out. Try to me, bring another coach, bring in a coach that has won in the league or that has a good resume and see where it goes. It's really what Washington wants to do. If Washington has in the back of their mind, we should trade him at some point, this is the best time, seeing as though his value is higher than ever. But if they really are what they're saying, and like if they really believe what they're saying, which is we're not going to trade him for anything, then don't trade him. Like, but if you're not going to trade him, get talent around him, because there's some solid pieces, but get more talent around him. And to me, get a coaching staff that can really focus on defense, because that's the West. The Wizards can score with the best of them. They just can't defend a stick. Like, they can't defend a parked car. And once you do that, I think, and if you do that, and if Bradley Beal is really part of your future and you want him to be part of your future, you have to start now to build the team around him. Just don't build it. Just don't say it's Bradley Beal's team and then you just plug in pieces and have a coach who only preaches offense and not defense. Like, get a coach, a well-rounded coach. You know what I mean? So